Hello everybody and welcome to Hurlingham Travel TV. I'm Laura and today we are going to chat with Dominic Teague, who is the head chef at the hotel One Aldwych in Covent Garden, London. Hello Dominic, thank you for joining us today.
Hi Laura, nice to see you.
Please, tell us a little bit about your background and how you first fell in love with cooking.
I think it was from when I was very young, to be honest. I grew up in a normal household in the 70s, just outside Brighton. And I think my parents were quite adventurous for the time in terms of the food they had around the house and what they were making. My dad was always doing things a lot different to maybe other families that were around. And I remember having pheasants hanging up outside the back door sometimes. And he made honey one year and he made cider one year. So there was always lots of different things around to perhaps other people in the 70s where I was living. So I think it just became from that really a bit more exposure to maybe different foods when I was young. And then obviously my mum was often cooking, my dad was often cooking, so I started helping out. And then my dad actually owned a pub when I was about 14, 15. And that's where I really started, because I started washing up at weekends for £2 an hour. And then I used to start helping out the chefs in the kitchen a little bit, and it sort of grew from there really. And then I just developed the love of food from those early years with the food and stuff, but also then when I got into the kitchen at probably 14 years old, I loved the whole camaraderie of it and the fun and the working with food and the fact that it was a freezing, horrible, cold day outside and you're in a nice warm kitchen. I just sort of loved it all from an early age really.
Which chefs inspired you most?
So I think around that time when I was growing up and I was starting to work in kitchens when I was washing up and things when I was sort of 14, 15. I think I used to watch a program, I think it was on BBC Two, and it was on Sunday nights, and it was just these two fantastic French brothers just cooking in a completely bare studio, just cooking this amazing French food, if you like, and it was the Roux brothers at the time. And I think I just remember watching that on a Sunday night, just thinking that even at that age, I knew what they were turning out was absolute quality. And I just was sort of transfixed. I think they were probably an early influence on me. And then I came to London at 18 or 19, and then you start the chefs at the time. So I was lucky to work for Paul Gaylor at the Lanesborough when it just opened up. Gary Rhodes was big at the time in London, so he was a big influence because of the British food scene was starting to grow and develop its early shoots, if you like. So there was a number of chefs at that time, but probably the Roux brothers were the big influence when I first started, I think.
Tell us more about the food of the Indigo Restaurant at the Hotel One Aldwych and what is its uniqueness? So
we focus on as well as many other restaurants on British produce, seasonal food, done very nicely. We make everything in-house, so it's great quality. But I think the unique point for us is about 5 years ago, we decided to turn the restaurant completely gluten and dairy free, which at the time was quite a big call, and a lot of my staff and a lot of my friends were looking at me like I was a bit crazy, but I think it's been really, really successful. The numbers have picked up over the years, and we get obviously great comments from the guests, great reviews. But I think it really stands us out because we do everything gluten dairy free, and it wasn't really done for trying to be trendy or trying to do something different for that reason. It was done because I felt there was a real need for it in the sort of luxury market. There's not really at that time, and to be honest, still much not now, where you can get a really good meal that's gluten and dairy free. So we always try and say that there's no difference. We don't market it that it's any different quality in food. It's just great produce, well cooked, seasonal. A luxury environment. We're in a beautiful hotel, but it just happens to be gluten and dairy free, which is a big bonus for the people that have allergens, but also for people that haven't. It doesn't really make any difference.
What do you love most about the London food scene?
Well, at the moment it's a bit grim, isn't it, because of what we're going through? But normally I think it's just the diversity of it, and the ever-changing nature of it. I mean, I can't keep up with it half the time, with the amount of openings and what's going on. But I think it's such an exciting, vibrant city for food to live in and to work in. And I think when you get caught up in it and you're just working and got your head down, I think you maybe don't appreciate that as much as you do. Sometimes you need to just take a step back and just have a look around and see what's going on. And you just, you do that every 3 or 6 months, and it's all of a sudden things have moved on, and then there's new chefs coming through, and there's a new fantastic restaurant opened up, and it's just the diversity, I think, and the nature of it. It's just never gets boring. It's always changing. It's always evolving. There's always something new going on. There's always a new style. It's just, for someone that loves their food and the restaurant and hotel scene, it's probably one of the best in the world.
What do you usually eat at home?
Very simply, actually. Yeah, everyone thinks I go home and cook, gourmet food and luxury food at home, but I don't. I just cook very simply at home. Just pure, just some grilled meat or grilled fish with other vegetables. If it's day off or the weekend, I might throw the boat out and make a pudding, but I just eat simply. I mean, I think I eat pretty healthily. Everything's obviously fresh, but I don't make 7-course tasting menus on my day off for my wife. She's maybe when we first started going out 30 years ago, maybe, but not anymore. So I just eat simple food, to be honest. And I think all chefs are the same, right? I think every chef I know would just love to have beans on toast or a sausage and mash, but nobody invites them around the house because you're a chef. They're too scared. But just cook us a lasagna or just something homemade. We don't care, right? That's just all we want to eat.
Thank you, Dominic, for your time, and I wish you a great day.
Thank you, Laura, and you. Have a good day.